Hey guys, it's me, Risa. Welcome to my kitchen again. I hope you're doing great. Today I'm excited because one of my favorite desserts, snacks, treats is a scone. And I just did my pumpkin scone and it was a big hit. So I thought I would treat you guys to a blueberry scone. And I am going to be making all kinds of scones. So just stay tuned. And I'm getting ready to make a new soup recipe, and it's with built broth, okay? So stay tuned for that. And of course, lots of other amazing recipes, podcasts, grocery hauls, and tips, of course. So what are you going to need to do? First of all, preheat your oven to 425 degrees and take a large cookie sheet and add some parchment paper, all right? My tip is never leave the cookie sheet on the oven because it will get hot and you don't want to put your scones on a hot cookie sheet, all right? Because I've done that before. So you're gonna need 3 tablespoons of very cold butter, all right? And on WW, the whole recipe is about 27 smart points, depending on what you decide to use. So I'm using 1 cup of the self-raising flour. If you don't have self-raising flour, use 1 cup of all-purpose and 2 teaspoons of baking powder. And I also love the Lakanto monk sugar, and I'm using 1/4 cup of the brown, but you can use the white. It doesn't matter, all right? So just for some extra flavor, I thought I'd use the brown one today. I'm using about 1/4 teaspoon of some cinnamon and a pinch of salt, which I'm just gonna throw in there. And then I'm gonna add the butter, all right? And I've already just measured that out, so it's easy. And I bought this little gadget at Walmart, but you can use a whisk. I used to use a whisk, or you can use a fork, and you just want to make a crumble mixture. All right? These are an amazing thing to make so quickly when, you know, if you have a sweet tooth like yours truly, then this is a great option, you know, to make with your kids, your grandchildren, and for company, just for yourself. And you can freeze these and warm them up. And I'm going to show you some different icings that you can add on top. All right. So this is pretty good. You just want it to look like a crumbly mixture. And if you don't break up all the butter, it's okay, it will melt. I'm just gonna make sure actually there was some sticking to it. So you just have to just take it off. And this is how you get your little workout too. Or if you're angry at somebody, or your stress reliever, right? Just bang it. All right, that's enough. Okay. So it's just like a crumbly mixture. Just make sure you get the bottom and you'll see that it's just really crumbly. Okay, I'll bring it right up to the camera just so that you can see, because I do my own camera work. There's nobody here to help me. Where is everybody? Okay, I'm just gonna wipe my hands off. Now, for the wet, I have 1 extra large egg that I'm gonna whisk. And I'm going to add about a teaspoon or so of vanilla. I didn't measure, I just always just add that and whisk it. I'm using 1/4 cup of mashed banana. Now I was thinking that you could probably even use some applesauce if you wanted, if you don't have banana. A nice ripe banana. Okay. I tried making it with 1/3 cup of banana and it was so wet. So I've gone down to 1/4 cup of a banana. And that should be plenty. And I'm just going to add a little bit of some lemon zest to it just to give it a little bit more flavor. just a pinch or so. All right, and you could even use a little bit of lemon juice if you want. I don't want to add too much more liquid, okay? And that's the recipe. Like you can see in 1, 2, 3, it's so easy. And then just add this to your dry. And then we're gonna add, and I have 1 cup of blueberries. And I'm sure if you only have frozen blueberries, my friends, you can use frozen blueberries. So I just start off mixing it with my fork. All right, and then I'm gonna add my blueberries. And fold it in. Okay, that's all I'm doing is folding it in. And I always start off with a fork and then I use my hand. And it'll seem like it's a little, you know, crumbly at first, but that's okay. And then you just take your hand. And you just play with it until you form a ball. Just make sure you scoop it from the bottom too, okay? Because you want to get all of it. And press down. And it might have been helpful if I rolled up my sleeves. All right. Just gonna press it down because you want to get all of the mixture together. And it'll start getting a little wet from the banana. And that's what you want. So you just play with it a little bit. And you'll think it doesn't get too sticky, which is good. This is perfect, actually. Sometimes I have to experiment. I'm gonna just wash my hands because they are a bit gooey now. All right, and dry them off. Now, what I like to do is I like to just take my baking sheet and just put it right directly on top. I have my knife because we're gonna cut it. And you can see that I just form a nice ball. And it's exactly the consistency that I like. So a 1/4 cup, my friends. All right, so you just pat it out. I'm just gonna make sure that you guys can see. And I mean, sometimes I just take a little bit more flour on my hands. And even if you need to use a little bit more flour, it's fine. I like to just put a little bit more on top. All right. Make sure you have a cloth to wipe your hands. And then take a nice sharp knife and you're gonna cut it down the middle. Okay, right down the middle. And then across. Perfect. And then you're gonna just go again diagonally so that you make nice, beautiful triangles and you'll get 8 beautiful scones. Then I have my little picker-upper. It's my favorite. And then I'm just going to gently spread them around. Okay? And you're gonna bake this for exactly, depending on your oven, I guess, but mine takes 15 minutes, okay? 15 minutes. Check them. If you'll see if they're brown. So 425 for 15 minutes. Look at these. I'm gonna just bring them up so you can just see how gorgeous they look already. and they're going to taste even better. I'm just going to time it. I just want to make sure I said 15 minutes because I wrote it down. Yeah, 15 minutes. Actually, hold on a second. I put it on for the wrong time. Okay, bake. Oops. There. Phew! All right. So, of course, you know I have some made already. Dun da da da! Look at these beauties. And I made a blueberry icing. Okay, so let's get to the icing part, okay? Okay. So I have some already made, but we're gonna make some together. And I use Swerve icing sugar, okay? And you're gonna use about 3 tablespoons. And your options are, okay, so you have options here. If you don't have blueberry syrup, you can use some vanilla, okay? So about a teaspoon to 3 tablespoons of the Swerve, or you can use a sprinkle of cinnamon, okay? Or, oh, and a little bit of milk. So I'll show you what to do. The other option is if you just want some sugar-free syrup to just drizzle over, okay? That is really delicious as well, or you can leave them plain. The other option is you could just take some of your sugar and before you put it in the oven, put some on top as well, okay? Or, you know, again, you can just have them plain. It's all up to you. So you just take 3 tablespoons. You can also make a cream cheese one, which I have on my YouTube video. So I'm going to take 3 tablespoons of the icing sugar. And slowly put in your milk. So like I'm going to just, and I have this cute little tiny whisk I love. And you can use water too, but I just always use milk. So I'm going to just put in 2 teaspoons. That should be exactly how I like it, but you never know. It changes every time. To get the consistency of the icing, okay? So you can see it drizzles nicely, all right? So you could leave it even like that. Or again, you can use some syrup. You could use vanilla, you could use cinnamon. It's versatile, all right? And I already did a couple with the raspberry, so I think I'm gonna add some vanilla to this one. So I'm gonna use probably a quarter of a teaspoon of some vanilla. Don't want it too strong, just a little bit. Maybe even just that looks good. Okay. So I'm gonna have some of the blueberry one. I was gonna call it raspberry for some reason. And then you just want to take it, and you could take a fork too and drizzle it over to make it look delicious. I'll do a couple. I'm gonna keep a couple plain. And voila, you have these amazing, delicious scones. And I'm not gonna take a bite because when I take a bite, I can't talk afterwards. So these amazing scones on each program, if you're on WW, 3 smart points each, I know, really good. And then a sugar-free topping, icing, okay? And that, my friends, is the end of my recipe. So I hope you love this. Please like, comment, share, tag. Tell me if you change it up. Comment below. When you post my recipes, tag me on all your social medias. Tell everybody about Risa Wine on YouTube. I'm on Instagram, www.Risa's Tips. My Facebook group is www Tips and Recipes by Risa. I'm a Built Bar ambassador. Use my code Risa and you get 10% off. And now I'm going to make a delicious and high protein soup. So stay tuned for that and more scones and recipes. Bye for now, guys.